Hey everybody, Lloyd from the NTS, and today I want to review Ghost Legend V4. So this is the fourth iteration of Ghost Legend. It's a great pre, it always has been. It's the pre that put them on the map. Flavors are always on point, quality is always on point. And one thing that's really cool about Ghost as well is they use a lot of cutting edge ingredients and great packaging. Really good brand recognition to this. But Ghost V4 is a little different, and I would say by far the best iteration of Ghost Legend so far. It's widely distributed by Nutrition Systems, possibly the best distributor in Australia. They're always compliant, they're always fair, and they always get the best brands. And I actually have to thank them for gifting us this tub to do a full review because I love this pre, and I want to talk you through why I love it. Tomomi loves it too. And this is what I would call a daily use pre. Now notice I'm not using the term daily driver, although it's pretty much interchangeable. But a daily driver generally conjures up images in your mind of about a 200 milligram caffeine hitter that you can take every day with, maybe 4 grams of citrulline, a bit of tyrosine, and a little bit of focus. And they're cool. I actually use daily drivers a lot. I would call this a daily use pre because it's actually a lot stronger than probably most of the daily drivers out there, but you can use it every day. And I think that's what they really tried to achieve with this pre, and that's because it doesn't skimp on anything. I mean, you can see here, it's a massive tub. This isn't a stripped back daily driver. It's a daily use, fully fledged, decked out pre-workout with a great flavoring system. Now I've had obviously the sour watermelon and it tasted amazing. It wasn't actually too sour, but it was really delicious and easy to get down. I can happily drink this every day. So let's get into the ingredient panel and cover off each of these ingredients and the dosages one by one. And let's start off with the pump matrix because they've actually put that first here on the label. And so you'll see right there, we've got L-citrulline, vegan fermented, so high quality L-citrulline, and it's 6 full grams. So that's really for me the upper dose of L-citrulline. I can't do too much more than that without it sort of coming straight through me in a laxative style effect. So 6 grams is more than enough, and I can say from using this, it didn't cause any stomach upset, and pumps it did deliver. And I think part of the reason it doesn't go straight through me at that upper sort of 6 gram dose is they haven't put too many other pump ingredients on top of it, clashing with it or over exaggerating the pump to the point where, if you ask me, all that happens is your arginase levels rise, which is the enzyme involved in breaking down pump, and almost turn off the pump just as far in the direction the other way as turning on the pump happened from adding the pump ingredients in the first place. So I guess what I'm trying to say is if you put too much pump in a pre or a pump product, you actually end up not really getting much more pump in the end because your body tries to fight against it. Whereas 6 grams of citrulline seems to be bang on, particularly if that's all you're going to add to the pre for pump. So first of all, big tick for doing that, Ghost. Well done. Next up, we've got the standard dose of 3.2 grams of beta-alanine. So awesome, great to see that in there. It's a pretty tingly pre, but it's not over the top. You definitely know the beta-alanine's there though. And then I guess a performance-enhancing ingredient in the BT nanohydrous. You've got 2.5 grams in here. That will also help prevent the pump brick wall, as Derek from More Plates, More Dates calls it. Lastly, we have Senactive. Now, this is an ingredient I've talked about before, and this is part of where Ghost always likes to be on the cutting edge of new ingredients. Senactive is really a performance-enhancing ingredient. It seems to improve people's cardio and endurance. It's a combination of herbs, which I've talked about before in a high-stim free pre-workout. I really notice a performance boost when I use this ingredient. It's really cool to have endurance ingredients like this in your pre-workouts that are actually designed to help improve your performance in the workout. And then we have 2 full grams of vegan fermented tyrosine, which I think is awesome. That's just shy of the 3 full grams of tyrosine that the guys from Price Plow always talk about being that sweet spot for a real dopamine lift. But at 2 grams, you will definitely notice that nice improvement there. And as I often say with tyrosine, I find it helps prevent any sort of crash from the caffeine. It supports the norepinephrine and epinephrine production, the dopamine production. It helps your body keep up with the fact that it's now being sort of pushed a bit harder by the caffeine to use up some of those adrenal hormones. And now it'll help your body recreate those and support that release as well at the time. I just think it's a great ingredient to have in there. 2 grams, what a nice dose on what is a daily use pre. And then you've got 1 gram of taurine. This is a great osmolyte. This actually will help with the pump, help prevent painful pumps or cramps as well. And it smooths out the caffeine a little bit by raising a bit of GABA in the brain. Taurine is one of Lucas's favorite ingredients from Ergogenic Health, and it's a really good performance-enhancing ingredient as well. There's been some studies on taurine that showed improvements in athletic performance, so great to see it in there. And then you've got something called vitacholine. Now, vitacholine is essentially a high-quality form of choline bitartrate, and the reason it's being used here is A, it's great for the mind-muscle connection. I do think it promotes brain function. I've always loved that ingredient in other pre-workouts, but it's often been talked about as not passing the blood-brain barrier as effectively as something like alpha-GPC. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that. That's just kind of the thinking and part of the mechanisms involved. And choline bitartrate, aka vitacholine in here, is fully compliant and generally recognized as safe. It has GRAS status. I really think it works well because I've used this pre and the focus on it is a strong point. And then we come to the natural caffeine. Now there's 300 full milligrams of natural caffeine. So when I say it's a daily use pre and I don't say necessarily daily driver, it's because there's actually that 300 full milligrams of caffeine, which hits pretty hard, but it's natural caffeine. And this seems to release much slower and steadier. There's zero crash from natural caffeine. I've seen it used in other products like Skywalk and a few other pre's that are starting to come out using it. Hits different, has a bit more mood to it. It's a little bit more nootropic. It's hard to explain, but it's just a different feel. And with 300 full milligrams in there, it certainly doesn't lack on the stims, but you can still use it daily without feeling burnt out. And then there's 100 milligrams of theobromine. I love theobromine. It's a caffeine metabolite. It's found in dark chocolate, aka coca. Quite a nice tunnel vision and brightening of the mood is how I like to describe it. If you take it on its own in a reasonable dose, you'll sort of notice. It synergizes really well with caffeine though. It seems to shine in a composite product more so than just on its own. And much like something like paraxanthine, it's one of the three major metabolites of caffeine. When it enters the body, you get theophylline, the jittery part, you get theobromine, the cool tunnel vision and brightening up of mood, and paraxanthine, which does, I guess, the lion's share of caffeine's benefits without the jitteriness. So the natural caffeine and the theobromine in here really provides a very nice synergy, and it's a great stim feel. Very smooth, but very much there. And it's very long lasting. There is zero crash from this pre. And then the last two cool ingredients, you've got Neurofactor, which is a BDNF boosting coffee extract. It's not stimulating at all, but much like lion's mane, it promotes BDNF in the brain. So it's a nice nootropic ingredient. You're seeing that around a lot more now in pre's, and I think it's a good, healthy ingredient. I love anything that assists with BDNF and brain health. And then estrogen, which helps all of these ingredients absorb better. Really, particularly any kind of amino acid, it's been shown to help with the absorption through the gut, and that of course is probably helping the citrulline absorb better. It's probably why the pump on this is so epic. Two major strong points that I took away from this pre was the pump and the focus. It had a really good mood and focus and an epic pump, and the stim level was right up to the point where I'd want it to be for a daily use pre. No less and no more. So there you have it, Ghost Legend V4. It is absolutely decked out. Perfect for your daily training sessions. Very high quality. Tastes great too. You can get it at the NTS. You can get it probably at any supplement store in Australia or worldwide at this point. I suggest having a tub in your cupboard if you want a high quality daily use pre. And then, hey, maybe if you really want, have a non-stim for your late night sessions, because this will still be too much stimulation to have before bed. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. If you've got any questions, reach out, DM, comment below, wherever you're seeing this. If you need a tub, pop in and grab it off us or grab it off your local. And peace, love and harmony. Bye-bye.